Welcome to this video on the top 10 most expensive transfers in the history of world football. Fascinatingly, every single one of these transfers has come since 2016, and only 3 leagues are involved when it comes to the spending: England, Spain, and France. In fact, Paris Saint-Germain are the buyers in the top 2 most expensive transfers of all time, and Barcelona are the buyers in 3 of the top 10. All of which came between 2017 and 2019. No wonder they're skint. Let's get to action, starting from number 10. The man who United gave away just to buy back for a simply ludicrous price. World Cup champion Paul Pogba certainly had his moments for the Old Trafford side, but he flattered to deceive. His injury troubles, attitude, and overall performance at United weren't what the Red Devils fans were looking for. Where is he now? That's right, back at Juventus. In truth, Pogba seemed to feel the weight of his price tag at United. In what wasn't exactly the best United team or era of the 21st century, let's be honest, he would dominate the midfield during the international breaks only when he was with France, and then seem like a different player in the Premier League. In the end, this probably was not a great move. Similarly to Pogba, this Frenchman Dembele has had his own injury problems since his big move. But at the same time, he hasn't hit the lofty heights anybody thought he would when he was on the pitch. Another similarity is that Barcelona aren't the team they were 5 or 10 years ago, and their quite frankly stupid spending has put a lot of pressure on the likes of Dembele to perform. Stunning pace and skill have been shown in flashes, but Dembele hasn't set the world alight at Barca. He is in and out of the team and constantly linked with the move away. At least he should sell on for good money. Another big but bad transfer for both parties. There is a trend appearing here. Lukaku's big transfer to Chelsea and the second time that he would join the West London club looked like it might work out, but just for a few weeks. Lukaku looked pretty unstoppable in his opening games as he returned to Stamford Bridge, but the spark soon faded and within no time he was shipped off to Inter. Lukaku is technically still a Chelsea player. On loan at Inter, he might even reach a Champions League final, whereas Chelsea look more likely to get relegated than win anything this year. Football is a funny old game, eh? Only a successful return next season would vindicate this monster fee that Chelsea paid for Lukaku. Unlikely in our opinion. Jack Grealish's trademark hairstyle with the socks pulled halfway down the calves are unmistakable. One of the most fouled players in the Premier League at Villa, his dribbling skills and individual play earned him this exceptional move to Man City. In the beginning, he struggled to adapt and break into this all-star team. Things simply didn't look promising for the young winger. But this season, everything has changed. Grealish is finally proving his worth and seems to be one of Pep's favourite players. He's finally playing, assisting and scoring in the big games too, even making last man tackles. He is transformed and has so much more to give. Maybe this crazy price will be worth it. Usually when a player returns to the team he signed from, you would imagine that things didn't go well. This is partly true for Griezmann. The World Cup winner with France was long linked with Barcelona, and he finally got what he called a dream move there, on big money. However, despite a bit of silverware with the Catalan club and the absolute privilege of playing link-up with Lionel Messi, he didn't really look at home at the Camp Nou. Now back at Atletico Madrid again, Griezmann looks comfy and back at home. And for France, he's always been excellent, unstoppable in fact. He joined Barca for a big fee at an interesting time, a weird time with a changing team and around the pandemic. It wasn't to be, and it's another episode of Barcelona spending unwisely. After a quite frankly special World Cup campaign, ENZO Fernandez became one of Europe's hottest properties. The ex-River Plate midfielder burst onto the scene with a great goal against Mexico for Argentina. He then proved he was both a skillful and dogged midfielder for the rest of the tournament, where as well as winning the World Cup, he took home the award for the best young player at the tournament. Big spenders Chelsea were adamant they would splash the cash on Enzo in January, as he was linked with a mountain of top clubs who were likely waiting to sign him in the summer. Time will tell on this one, but at the moment, Enzo is struggling. But who wouldn't in a Chelsea side languishing in the bottom half of the table? Managerless and messy. João Felix is currently on loan from Atletico Madrid to Chelsea, and he might yet make the move permanent in the summer. As sensational a talent as he is, this was an awful lot of money to spend on a teenager back when Atletico got him from Benfica. Felix is clearly an incredible footballer, but he is young, raw, and quite frankly not at all suited to Atletico Madrid's style of play. So who pushed the button on this transfer? He will have a great career elsewhere, but the Madrid men made a mistake with this one. Under another manager, in another system, he will shine. But under Simeone, it was always going to be tricky for the dynamic Portuguese attacker. Whether or not he will shine at Chelsea remains to be seen. Now we're getting to the stupid money, alright? This mind-boggling price was paid by the Catalan club for the Brazilian, as he proved that he was a world-class footballer at Anfield. The year before his big move was by far Coutinho's best, and he showed the world that he had taken his performance and consistency up a level. Yet, in this transfer, Liverpool were the winners. They would use that money Barca paid to fund transfers for Virgil van Dijk and Alisson, who would go on to win it all with the Reds. Meanwhile, Coutinho struggled at Barca, and again, could only show glimpses of the true player he was. The most hilarious thing was that he went on loan to Bayern Munich from Barca, and there he won the Champions League, beating Barca 8-2 in the process. Maybe Barca should just put the checkbook away. Silly money. Very silly money. And again, it was spent on a teenager. But this might be the first transfer on this ludicrous list that actually makes quite a bit of sense. Mbappe has proved a vital investment on many levels. The world champion and perhaps pending best player on the planet is now the captain of France and undoubtedly the face of the global mega brand that is PSG. A born and bred local with the world at his feet, Mbappe is scoring plenty of goals and winning title after title in Paris, adding to the red carpet allure of the club in the process and selling a hell of a lot of shirts. If Mbappe does leave the club, he might break the world record transfer fee. And if he stays, then success will surely continue. It's a win-win for PSG. And finally, at number 2 in our list, we have a transfer that, though ridiculous in price, genuinely seems a decent investment. Neymar does not have the sell-on value that Kylian Mbappe has. He does get injured and miss football games far more often. And yes, even compared to the Mbappe transfer fee, this transfer was astronomical. You could also argue that Neymar was brought in to win the Champions League, a feat he has not been able to achieve in Paris. With all that in mind, we won't say that Neymar's move has been a complete failure, but we will definitely say that they spent too much money on him. It's crazy that this transfer funded Barcelona's purchases of Coutinho and Dembele, two of the big fails on this list. Neymar has been brilliant at Paris, don't get us wrong. The Samba star has scored plenty and won league titles, but let's be honest, that's not what you pay €222 million for. It's not Neymar's fault that he cost that much, and let's be honest again, PSG have money to burn, but my oh my, this one was steep. Which of these transfers would you consider the biggest success or failure? And what's the biggest rip-off? Let us know in the comments below.